It was late at night, and Maya was at the train station. She had missed the last regular train and was waiting for the midnight train. The platform was empty, except for a flickering streetlight and the sound of the wind. Suddenly, an announcement crackled over the speakers. The midnight train is arriving. Please step back from the platform. Maya shivered. The voice sounded strange almost, hollow. She looked down the tracks and saw the train approaching. Its headlights barely lit the tracks ahead, and it moved silently without the usual screech of wheels. As the train stopped, its doors opened with a soft hiss. Maya hesitated but stepped inside. The train car was dimly lit, and the air felt cold. She noticed the passengers. They were all silent, sitting perfectly still and dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Maya sat in the corner and tried not to look at them. She whispered to herself, "Just a train ride home. Nothing to worry about." The train started moving, but instead of speeding up, it crept forward slowly. Maya glanced at the window. The outside world was pitch black, as if the train wasn't moving through a city but a void. Suddenly, Maya heard faint whispers. She looked around, but the passengers remained silent, their faces hidden in shadows. The whispers grew louder, and she realized they were coming from behind her seat. "Help us! Save us!" Maya turned around, but no one was there. Her heart pounded. She stood up and walked toward the next car, hoping to find the conductor or someone who could explain what was happening. The next car was empty, except for the conductor. He stood at the far end, his back to her. Maya called out, "Excuse me, what's going on? Where is this train going?" The conductor turned slowly. His face was pale, and his eyes were hollow, glowing faintly in the dark. He spoke in a voice that made Maya's blood run cold. "This train doesn't go home. It collects lost souls." Maya stepped back, her breath quickening. "I'm not supposed to be here," she shouted. The conductor tilted his head. "Are you sure?" he asked. He pointed at a seat near the window. There was a photograph lying there. Maya picked it up and froze. It was a picture of her, taken that very night, standing on the platform. Maya's mind raced. "No, this can't be real," she whispered. The whispers returned, louder this time. "You were warned. You didn't listen. Stay with us." She remembered crossing the tracks earlier that night, rushing to catch the train. She hadn't seen the lights, hadn't heard the horn. Tears filled her eyes as she looked back at the conductor. He nodded solemnly. "This is the last train for the lost. Welcome aboard." Maya tried to scream, but no sound came out. The train continued into the darkness, and the passengers turned to look at her for the first time. Their faces were pale, their eyes empty, just like the conductor's. The whispers surrounded her. "Now, you're one of us." The train vanished into the night, leaving no trace behind. Moral of the story: some chances are one time, and some warnings shouldn't be ignored.